have a look at some DVDs. Hi everybody, and welcome to the next part of my DVD collection. Ahoy everybody, and welcome to the next part of my DVD collection videos. Let's carry straight on. First up we have Animal Instincts, which is an erotic thriller starring Shannon Worry, and David Carradine's in it, and Maxwell Caulfield is in it. This is a Dutch release, so I can't read all the blurb on the back. Basically, she's a sexually frustrated housewife. Her husband's a cop who doesn't have sex with her anymore. She takes matters into her... No, not into her own hands, into somebody else's hands, shall we say. He walks in on them, finds that he likes watching, and it turns him on. So then he starts setting up dates for her. But yeah, it's another film that I rented on VHS and very much enjoyed, so I decided to get on DVD. This is Cat People. This is from early 80s remake, 1982, of the classic horror film. Natasha Kinski at her best, with Malcolm McDowell, brother and sister, who have the ability to turn into panthers. And... you know, the problems with that, and horror, bit horror, bit thriller, bit drama-y. It's not a wonderful film, but it's sort of enjoyable nonsense, and as I say, Natasha at her best. Sticking with Malcolm McDowell, this is Oh Lucky Man, the Lindsay Anderson film that Malcolm wrote, and did he write or co-write? No, he wrote it. Yeah. Well, it just says based on original. No, he didn't write it. I'll tell a lie. He had the idea for it, and it was adapted into a screenplay by David Sherwin. Very good film. This is hard to describe. I'm trying to read the blurbs here. It's basically he's Malcolm McDowell's character, progressing through life, getting breaks, and then, you know, sometimes not getting breaks, and the people he meets along the way, and it's hard to describe. You know, it's not got a linear plot, so to speak, but throughout it co-stars and has music from Alan Price, who's a big favourite of mine. It's probably his best work, the soundtrack to this, sort of commenting through song on the action. But this is, if I remember correctly, yeah, this is a Region 1 release of it. It's got commentary and a full-length documentary on Malcolm McDowell and what have you. Yeah, very good. This is The End of the Affair, which is... yeah, it's based on a novel by Graham Greene. I knew it was based on somebody's book. Starring Ralph Fiennes and Julianne Moore and Stephen Rea. And it's directed by Neil Jordan, who directed The Crying Game and many other things. It's a couple of hours an affair, and it's sort of a drama, thrillery type thing. It's set in the... did it say? Might be wartime or around then anyway. But yeah, that's a good film. It's Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of a Were-Rabbit. All the Wallace and Gromit stuff is excellent. This is probably the least of all of them, but still hugely enjoyable. This is Hostel Part 2. I showed Part 1 in an earlier video. It's very similar to Part 1, except it's turned, so instead of in the first one it's a load of guys getting tortured and killed. This is a load of girls, basically. Torture porn was the phrase I was trying to think of in the previous video. It's more of the same, really. It's quite enjoyable, but not quite as good as the first one. So Run Fat Boy Run. starring Simon Pegg. He abandoned his fiancée, played by Tandy Newton, at the altar. She hooks up with Hank Azaria, or his character anyway, who's showing off about, you know, his athleticism and everything. So Simon Pegg says he's going to run the London Marathon. It's just a fun Britcom. Good cast, apart from people I mentioned. He's also got Dylan Moran in it. It's directed by David Schwimmer of Friends fame. But yeah, it's on telly a lot, so you might have seen it, but I enjoy it. This is another favourite from my youth. This is The Fruit Machine, aka Wonderland, I think. Emile Charles, who's the younger brother of Craig Charles. He's a gay couple. Well, he's half of a gay couple. And they witness a murder, so they go on a run. And it's a story of, you know, what happens to them when they're on the run, and then he ends up in Brighton, and yeah, it's a really good film. Really enjoy it. It's got a young Julie Graham in it, Robert Stevens, Claire Higgins, Bruce Payne, Robbie Coltrane. Yeah, very enjoyable film. It's another Danny Dyer film. Severance. Again, this is a typical, if you're familiar with Danny's films, it's very British horror comedy type film. A group of workmates go on an outward bound team bonding exercise and get more than they bargained for. It's alright. It's not great, but it's alright. This really good film, Sherry Baby, starring Maggie Gyllenhaal, Danny Aiello. Danny Trejo. Not Danny Aiello. Danny Trejo. In a very atypical performance. Young mother gets released from prison, trying to care for her children any which way she can, trying to keep hold of her daughter, that sort of thing. But yeah, really moving film. Great performance by Maggie and Danny. I did speak to him about it when I met him. Yeah, really good. This is Tom Baker's Ultimate Sci-Fi Quiz. There's a little spate of DVDs done in a quiz format. I've got a Red Dwarf one as well in there somewhere, where, you know, depending, you can pick your option and it takes you to another question. They seem like a very good idea, but they're always very slow and they keep going wrong and things like that. Excuse me. But it's got clips from lots of stuff in it as well. Yeah, long time since I tried playing it, but I remember it being quite fun. This is Roadhouse, for Patrick Swayze film. This is the deluxe edition, which my main reason for purchase of this version is because it's got a commentary featuring Kevin Smith and Scott Mosier, who had nothing to do with the film, but were talking about it in one of their podcasts, I think. And so I got signed up to comment on the film. It's a really funny commentary. You might be familiar with the film. It's a bit of a cult classic. Patrick Swayze plays a bouncer who moves to a town, starts working at a bar. The bar's threatened by a rival. Is he a rival bar owner? It's a guy who sort of runs the town, you know, the evil guy who runs the town, that sort of character. He's trying to take over a bar, and Patrick Swayze's character's stopping him, and, you know, that sort of film. You've probably seen it, as I say. But yeah, it's fun. I enjoy it. I've also got the original release of it, which I'll probably put in my surplus bags, which is where this is moving, because this is Flesh and Blood, which is Paul Verhoeven's first English language film, which I really enjoy. Rutger Hauer, Jennifer Jason Leigh, amongst others. Sort of set in medieval times. It's a sort of, I was going to say it's a sword and sorcery film, but it's no sorcery. But it's all about, you know, it's got the plague in it and stuff like that. And Rutger Hauer kidnaps Jennifer Jason Leigh and gets involved with her sexually, and the lead actor Tom Burlinson, who is engaged to Jennifer Jason Leigh, goes to rescue her, and it's that sort of film. But yeah, it's really good. I've just got this on Blu-ray, which is why this is moving into my surplus bags. So I've got to try and remember, having moved it, I've got to try and remember not to show it to you again. So if I do show it to you again in a later video, I apologise. This is Luc Besson's Angel A. Really good film. Or Angel A. So it's Angela. Angel A. Anyway. Guy's going to commit suicide. Angela appears, played by Ree Rasmussen, the model, who was also in Femme Fatale, the Brian De Palma film. And she, you know, it's sort of like It's a Wonderful Life, but darker and sexier. But yeah, good film, that. Probably my favourite Steve Martin film, A Man with Two Brains, if you don't include Little Shop of Horrors, because it's only a cameo. Really love this film. He plays Dr. Hafura, however you say it, whose wife dies, so he's a brain surgeon, so he tries to get a new brain to put in her body to bring her back to life. And it all goes wrong, and he falls in love with the brain, and yeah. Yes, so I've got that slightly wrong, but yes, he falls in love with the brain anyway, and then he decides to put it into his dead wife's body. That's more like it. But yeah, really funny film. Oh, you, Pretty Chitty Bang Bang, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, we love you. It's just a classic. You can't not love Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. This is My Summer of Love, which was a very early performance by Emily Blunt. It's where I first became aware of her. I wrote to her after this, told her how brilliant I thought she was, how I think she was going to be a big star, and she sent me a signed photo, and I think I was proven right. Natalie Press lives with her brother. Tamsin's a sort of a rich girl, and they meet and get involved in a friendship that turns into a relationship. And the town, particularly her brother, are sort of against them, and yeah, really good film. This is Warm Summer Rain, starring Kelly Lynch. This is a Region 1 release. Sort of an erotic thrillery type film. It's not that erotic, but there's nudity in it, but they class it as an erotic thriller. She marries a stranger. She's an alcoholic, and they hide out in the desert, and things happen. It wasn't great, but Kelly's worth watching. This is The Getaway. This is the remake from, again, it's going to make me feel old, 1998, 20 years ago, God. Starring Alec Baldwin and Kim Basinger, his wife. Also starring Michael Madsen, James Woods, and Jennifer Tilly. I really enjoy this. I think it's a really good film. Fun, exciting, it's sexy. What more could you ask for? This is Soul Survivors. This is a horror starring Eliza Dushku. Yeah, it's sort of set in a college and intertwining between the real world and the world of the dead, as they put it. It's not a great film, but again, Eliza's in it. This is Four Rooms. It's just got a lot of stick when it came out. It's sort of an anthology film combination. It's directed by Alison Anders, Alexandra Rockwell, Robert Rodriguez, and Quentin Tarantino. And great cast. Tim Roth plays a bellboy in a hotel, and each director sort of has a different room that he visits and tells the story of what goes on. There's a load of witches, and that's got Madonna in it, and brain's gone dead to her name. Sammy Davis, Iona Sky, and various people. Another room, Bruce Willis is in as a movie star and makes the bellboy an offer. I think somebody was cutting off a finger or something, memory serves. Robert Rodriguez's bit. He's babysitting a couple of young kids, and I can't remember what the last bit is. Something to do with a married couple, but I can't remember exactly what it is. But yeah, it's a long time since I watched it. But as I say, it was much maligned when it came out. I think, you know, it's hyped because it was Quentin particularly and Robert Rodriguez. But I enjoy it. This is Bully. This is another Larry Clark film. I showed you Another Day in Paradise. I think that was on my last video. Lost track. This is another of his ones featuring, you know, a cast of very young actors that he always seems to get good performances out of. Best known names in this probably Bijou Phillips and Rachel Miner, who went on to bigger things. But this is about a group of friends, and one of them is a bully, and they end up killing him. And, you know, sort of the ensuing drama around that. This is Darren Aronofsky's Requiem for a Dream. Amazing film. Visually masterful, but a great story as well. Very dark. All about a group of drug addicts. Starring Brain's Gone Dead, Jared Leto, Jennifer Connelly, Marlon Wayans, Ellen Burstyn. It's a really good film. This is A Brown Bunny. Strange film. It's written, directed and produced by Vincent Gallo, who's unique, shall we say. Co-stars his ex-girlfriend Chloe Sevigny. It's notorious for the fact that there's a scene where she gives him a blowjob in it, and it, you know, a genuine, real blowjob. Yeah, so it's a strange film. You know, has its moments. This is the Escort, which isn't as, you know, isn't what it looks like. It's is it actually a French film? Yeah, it is a French film. I'm trying to remember if it's in English. Yeah, it's a French film in English. And sort of a middle-aged man leaves his family, goes to London, and gets involved in the world of male escorts. And it's, you know, about his life in there, but it's I think it's a little bit of nudity, but, you know, no more than just your normal film. But yeah, it's an enjoyable little film. Lisa Walker's in it, who is probably best known for being in Buddy's song with Chesney Hawkes. But I had a real crush on her in my teenage years. But she's in this, as is Claire Skinner, Peter Mullen, Stuart Townsend, and what's her name? Alice Evans, is that her name? Alice Evans is also in it. Yeah, that's a good film. Nearly there. This is The Goonies. This is a film I should have seen as a kid. I was 9, was it 84? 85, I was 10 when it came out. You know, I was the right age for it. I never saw it as a kid, I don't know why. You know, it would have been in the video shops. I would have been the right age. So I didn't see this until much later in life. So, you know, I would have been late 20s, early 30s when I saw it. But yeah, really enjoy it. You can see why it's a classic. I have met nearly all the cast, of the kids anyway. The only one I'm missing is Marsha. I'm recording too many videos in one hit. My mind is turning to mush. What is her name? Marsha. It's not Marsha, that's what's putting me off. No, Brain's Gone Dead. I'll put it in here. Yeah, she's the only one of the main cast I haven't met. But this is a good DVD. It's got an audio commentary, but it's got little videos of them recording the commentary as well. This is The Good Girl. This is a serious role for Jennifer Aniston. I think she was doing Friends at the time, and she sort of came out and she wanted to do a non-comedy role. Also starring Jake Gyllenhaal, John C. Reilly, Tim Blake Nelson. She's a married woman who has an affair with her young co-worker, played by Jake Gyllenhaal. And it's sort of a story of that. But yeah, it's a good film, Matt. As is this, Where the Truth Lies. This is set in the 50s in America. Couple of entertainers, sort of, you know, Brat Pack type entertainers, played by Kevin Bacon and Colin Firth. And then, you know, they tend to get involved with young women, and one of them dies, and, you know, is it murder, what have you. So they go their separate ways, and then they meet up 15 years later as a woman tries to turn it into a story. And, you know, it's a story of what happens there. But yeah, really good film. You're all familiar with this, 4 Weddings and a Funeral. I really enjoy this film. Saw it in the cinema. Feeling I might even have seen it twice. Yeah, strongly suspect I saw this twice in the cinema. I think I saw it once. Can't remember who with, probably with friends. And then took Mum to see it. Yeah, you're familiar with this. 4 Weddings and a Funeral. And Mrs. Beavis and Butthead Do America. I really like this movie. I think it's you know, a great development of a TV series. You know, the series itself was just a series, basically a series of little interlinking bits between pop videos. So to expand it to a film and make it as good as this was very good of them. So yeah, that's it for this part. That's that shelf done over 4 parts. Yeah, you can watch previous parts by following the playlist. As I said, that's what 7 videos I've recorded so far, and it's only 11:30 in the morning. Yes, so you can watch previous videos on the playlist, like, subscribe, comment, all that sort of stuff, and I'll see you on another one. Thanks for watching. Bye.